Williams will release their 2024 F1 Challenger. Let's take a look at the livery. Let's see what I think relative to the McLaren and the Haas that we've already seen. And of course, let's have a go at redesigning it. My name's Tommo. Let's talk about it. So, Williams are rolling with the same fundamental design now. What, it's been 3 seasons of this? The navy base, the hits are blue, the Duracell branding on top, and all. Minton's here. Right, if you're going to disturb the video, at least say hello to your adoring fans. There he is. What are you doing? In fact, I've got a Snuggie that's covered in sausage dogs that he loves. So do you want to get in that, mate? Go on. The fundamental composition is very much unchanged. Although, to be honest, for me, it's a bit of a step backwards from last season. Look, we've not seen this on the actual car in person. It's just a bit dull. I've said this before about kind of navy based cars, unless you've got a brighter colour to really offset that. Yes, there is a brighter blue. I'd like to see them lean more into that rather than having the navy base. I know it's a legacy colour for Williams, but I don't know, it's just Now, obviously, credit to Williams for getting Komatsu on board as a brand new sponsor, not Haas's team principal, different Komatsu. They're a manufacturing company that actually used to produce components for Williams back in the day. So it's kind of gone full circle, and splitting the side pod to get the MyProtein and Komatsu in is actually a pretty smart way of doing it. I will be carrying that into my design. You know, a drum I think they keep banging that they just need to stop for me is the whole red component. You can see on the pinstriping that's kind of going down the side and around the nose that they've kept the red in. I'm just like, why? Like, you've got the orange in the Golf, you've also got the orange kind of bronze, whatever you want to call it, in the Duracell. You've got a bit of orange in MyProtein. Bin off the red. I'm not using the red. It just seems silly. Like, it's so insignificant, it's so small, it's like, what's the point? It still does look like a team that is ultimately struggling for sponsors. There are still plenty of blank spaces on the car, but like I've said before, having blank spaces, it's a good way of being like, look, we don't have sponsors right now, but you could be here. For me, tier list wise, relative to the McLaren and the Haas, it's the weakest one for me so far. I don't dislike it, it's just very air. It is born for air, this livery. But behind the Haas, I do prefer the big Haas pulls that forward, and a bit of red as well, just a bit of red and a bit of white, just pops a bit more than this Williams. But I'll tell you what does pop, and I do like the look of. Have you seen Alex Albon's helmet? Have you seen the colour he's used for it, by the way? Look, what can I say? You cannot tell me this pink does not look very similar to my pink, and for that, you are welcome, Alex Albon. I'm sure it's actually a coincidence, but oh, that looks good. And I've already mentioned this before, I do want to make a helmet, like my own actual real helmet at some point, especially if I can do a video, because then I can put it through as a work expense. But yes, this has proven to me that pink on a helmet, obviously I wouldn't have the blue, that pink slaps on a helmet. Yes, please. Anyway, that's enough on the real thing. Let's now take a look at my redesign of the 2024 Williams Formula 1 car. Designed using the RaceSimStudio 2023 F1 car model. Links below. Let me know what you think. Once again, on a Williams, I'm bringing back the white, okay? With the blues, with the really dark navy and the brighter blue, I think having a white on there as well is not only a bit of a heritage thing for Williams, I'd argue as much as the navy blue is, right? In terms of a bright white on a Williams. For me, it just brings it all together and makes it kind of stand out a bit more and a bit more unique, I guess, because the Williams at a glance is just going to look like a McLaren because the navy is so dark it almost looks black. Let's start with the side profile. So like I said, the MyProtein Komatsu, I like how they've done that on the side pod, so I've kept that, but then I've taken those angled lines. That's where I started on this livery. I like the use of angular lines that kind of cut through the car, especially when they're not completely vertical. The Duracell lockup, I actually don't like how they've done it on the new car. I forgot to mention that actually. Just having this angled slice through kind of loses the impact that it looks a bit like a battery. So I wanted to bring that back for this. The number placement is a bit different actually on the Williams in real life, and I've carried that over to this, but broadly speaking, all of the sponsors are in the exact same place as they are in the real car, which again, that's a challenge I want to take on and try and work within the restrictions of the real F1 team. White bands on the wheel covers give that kind of retro feel, and actually another thing I forgot to mention about the real car, it's got a bit of an homage to the classic Frank Williams logo with these kind of angled chevrons on the back. I've not put that on the back, but I have stuck it on the nose just on its own as a little, why not? I mean, they've got loads of space because they could do with more sponsors. Come on, Williams. I know the Realton are giving you money, but you need more sponsors. Actually, if Alex can keep slapping and keep moving up the field, which apparently he's got a contract in 2025, although Alex has very much said, I mean, there's clearly a break clause given this quote anyway. There's clearly a break clause. Anyway, I think I've been most creative with the front and rear wings on this. Actually, I'm super happy with the front and rear wings. The rest of the livery, I'm like, it's all right, but the front wing and rear wing in isolation, I think I've smashed it, to be honest. I had to bring some white onto that front wing to just make it a bit more distinct and stand out and booming in your face, but also utilising those two different shades of blue balanced nicely off of each other. You've got enough lightness, enough darkness. I did actually brighten the dark blue a little bit because it was too navy for my liking. Halo I've kept pretty much identical in terms of the brands and logos that are shown on there. And again, look, you've got Golf, you've got Duracell, you've got MyProtein, you've got 3 signature brands, all colour brands as well, that have orange in. Like, what's the point of the red? If anything, just lean into the orange and utilise that as the highlight colour. Or just do what I've done and just don't, right? Because there's enough orange on the car anyway to be a highlight in those sponsor brands. An homage to the past, but still very much in the present. I'd actually, compositioning wise, it's quite similar to my McLaren. I think I like this less than my McLaren redesign, but more than my Haas. That's what I'm going to say. But who cares what I think? Let me know what you think in the comments below of this one. That's 3 of 10 complete. Now it's time for me to just carry on filming and do the Albon one because I've already done that redesign as well. So please like the video and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn notification bell on as well so you don't miss any of my redesigns. We've got the Alpine launch tomorrow as well. I think it's just Alpine. But yeah, that's a wrap. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.